Good morning and welcome to Daily Reflection with Aneel Aranha. Today is the 28th of January 2018 and we're going to reflect on Mark chapter 1 verses 21 to 28. Listen. They went to Capernaum, and when the Sabbath came, he entered the synagogue and taught. They were astounded at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. Just then there was a man in their synagogue with an unclean spirit, and he cried out, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." But Jesus rebuked him, saying, "Be silent and come out of him." And the unclean spirit, convulsing him and crying with a loud voice, came out of him. They were all amazed, and they kept on asking one another, "What is this? A new teaching with authority. He commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him." At once his fame began to spread throughout the surrounding region of Galilee. This is the gospel of the Lord, and this is the same gospel passage that we read on January the 9th. We reflected on how Jesus exercised his authority in a manner the likes of which nobody had seen before. We also reflected on his methodology. He seized the opportunity that was presented. 1, he didn't get overly dramatic. 2, and then he didn't go about bragging about what he had done. 3. Now this is an example that we can follow because Jesus has given this authority that he exercised to us. In Luke 10:19, Jesus says, "See, I have given you authority to tread on snakes and scorpions and overcome all the power of the enemy, and nothing will hurt you." At the time, he said it to the 70 disciples who had gone out to proclaim the good news in obedience to his command. And he says it to us who go out to do the same. The world is in dire straits today, with thousands of people suffering in terrible bondage. God needs people who can bring them freedom. Those of us who have understood, experienced, and are living the freedom of the new life that comes from Christ need to bring this freedom to others. We have always admired great freedom fighters in history: Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela. But the greatest freedom fighters are those who fight for the freedom of the human soul, and that can be you. Understand that Jesus has given you that authority over the power of the enemy. Start exercising that authority first in your life, and do so without fear. As Paul writes in his letter to the Colossians, he, that's Jesus, disarmed the rulers and authorities and made a public example of them, triumphing over them. The devil is a defeated enemy. The only power he has over you is the power that you let him have. You exercise the power of Jesus, and God will be with you as well.